Hello and welcome. Today I want to show you the other gas-powered version that's available here in Canada for the BMW 7 Series. A few weeks ago I reviewed the 760. This one here is the 750e, and as you correctly guessed, E stands for plug-in hybrid. Obviously in Europe and the States you also have the 40 variants and for the 40 diesels, but here in Canada this is the only other gas variant other than the 760. Prices in Canada start at $142,000. This one here, as tested, is $159,000 plus taxes. In the US, prices start at $107,000. As tested, it would be around $120,000. Under the hood, this one gets a straight 6 3.0-liter B58 engine, which makes 308 horsepower and 332 pound-feet of torque, but it's combined with an electric motor mounted to the transmission that adds another 194 horsepower and 206 pound-feet of torque for a total of 483 horsepower and 516 pound-feet of torque. Those are some big numbers. 0 to 100 kilometers an hour is supposed to come in 4.8 seconds, and we did exactly that when we tested it. And 0 to 60 miles per hour is supposed to come in 4.6 seconds. We did 4.4. Braking was also really good, 100 kilometers an hour to 0 in just 38 meters. The top speed is limited to 250 kilometers an hour, and in electric-only mode, it's 140 kilometers an hour. The battery capacity is 17.6 kilowatt hours, and the electric range is about 65 kilometers, which is very usable. And I have even more good news. It supports up to 7.4 kilowatt charging, which means that even from empty, you can have it at 100% in just under 2.5 hours. On the road, this thing is exactly what a 7 Series needs to be, and then somewhat. It's almost as refined as the i7 Series, because in electric mode you can hear nothing. Even when the petrol engine kicks in, first of all, you can't feel any of the transitions. You have no idea when what is powering what, but you do hear the engine a bit. So if you gun it, there's a slight little soundtrack in the background that, you can feel that the gas is kicked in. But honestly, it's one of the best and smoothest drivetrains I have ever driven in a plug-in hybrid. I love how everything works. I love all the modes. You can lock it in electric. You can have the save mode, so use the battery power later. Honestly, even if you don't plug it in ever, fuel economy will only go up to like 9 liters per 100. So as a self-charging hybrid, it also works really well. If you plug it in a lot, you can do from 0 liters to 100 to maybe like 2 or 3 liters. Personally, I'm at 3.6 liters per 100 kilometers, and that's just because I wanted to test what it's like when you run out of juice. But honestly, I think in my everyday commute, I'd probably be around like 1 or 2 liters, which means that this thing becomes extremely efficient to run. Okay, you spend a lot of cash to buy one of these, but it doesn't cost you a fortune to run them after that. The regen can be set to adaptive, which will take some getting used to because it depends if you have a car in front of you or not, if it coasts or if it brakes. So it's kind of weird, but you will learn how it works and you'll get used to it. The brakes feel good and strong and no issues there. For an in-depth review of the 7 Series in general, check out the links in the description because we've driven a lot of them, so there's no real point in repeating everything as this car is pretty much exactly the same other than the drivetrain. That this car is a hyper limo that really smokes its competition. The only debatable thing is the front end, which is subjective. Some people don't like it. I don't mind it at all. Inside, it's mind-blowing, and on the road, really, it can glide over any surface. It can make really long journeys seem like you're just running an errand around the corner. And with this drivetrain, it retains the freedom that petrol gives you, which a lot of people are not ready to give up yet. And despite weighing 2.4 tons, a bit over that actually, when you put it in sport mode and put everything to Sport Plus, it actually really turns. I mean, obviously it's xDrive and it has 4-wheel steering. So we've covered the handling of the 7 Series before, which is incredibly impressive in how it can manage its weight and size, like around the corners. Honestly, this one is no different. It's exactly the same. It can be from extremely luxurious and plush and quiet and comfortable to a backroad animal. Why not? So that's pretty much it for this incremental review. Again, if you want to learn more about the 7 Series in depth, we have i7s and the 760. They're exactly the same. Not much changes. So that's all for now. Be well. See you in the next one.
Perfect. Perfect. Perfect.